Hey guys, Vico here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're rehabbing your tanks and you're thinking about going down to some of your tanks that you haven't done well in or haven't played in a long time, go to Tier 3, look at your T46, and figure out your win rate, and if you get a Watt B stars, look at your WN8. If it's bad, I recommend rehabbing the T46. I love it. I use the gun that's on the A20. It's the 37mm auto. The DPM is pretty good. Some people argue that the Tier 3 76mm L10 is the way to go. I found, based on my playstyle, that sometimes I just prefer going frontal to people and I have to use heat. You don't have a problem with the 37mm. I had some problems with headser on the front, but that's not so bad when I can use the maneuverability, which is also outstanding. You can really use this tank to get around, take corners, get back into cover, and get the business done. I'm going to compare the two guns and then a couple games, two top guns, and you can see that this tank, it's not the best. There's really no armor to speak of, but if you use the mobility to get in and out of cover and use the pretty good reload, you should be able to bully other tanks. It's a forgotten hero at Tier 3. A little bit of housekeeping. I appreciate all the likes and subscribes I've received so far. This is a patron-sponsored post. Thanks to everybody that contributes and helps make this channel better. I really appreciate it. What I'm showing you here is a difference between the two guns I described earlier, the 76mm cannon and the autoloader that I use. Why not just choose a Tier 5? You can put a big burst of damage that's front-loaded into the red team, as opposed to waiting for a reload and hiding. The reload on this Tier 5 gun is not as bad as you'd think if you can get into cover, let camo reset, come out, and then give another burst of damage. The autoloader has two magazines of 3 each. So you do have to let it aim, and you do have to be patient as it dumps rounds into the bad guys. But if you see here, T46 versus T46, we both fire at the same time. We both do comparable damage. I do just a little bit more, but the reload, even though I'm reloading an autoloader cannon, I can still pump out just another couple rounds to take out the red team. And many thanks to my daughter, Crazy Fox Dog, for helping me out with that. She helps me out 2 more games here. The first is mines. I was loading a little late, and I was telling her, you know what to do. Take the hill. Don't stop. If you see somebody once you get to the mouth of the hill, we were kind of talking, the game tactics prior. So as you see, like I said, I loaded a little late. I want you to pay attention to the back of the map at our spawn for most of the game. So, coming up to the mouth of the hill, our fastest tank stops. So, I have 2 magazines of 3 each. So I dump one into the T2 medium, dump one into the T7 combat car, let my daughter finish him off, and get the BT2 off the hill. I don't know if he noticed me or wasn't paying attention, but he decided to leave the hill himself. So I looked at her and I said, oh, it looks like we took the hill. I look at the map, and there's only 1 red spotted right now. I think they might be in their respawn, so I'm going to use the typical peeking bush, if you will, this one over here, and I don't get any spots. I tell her they all went to the lighthouse. So I'm going back to kind of reevaluate, and then there you go. There's the ice claw over at the lighthouse, and I think there he is. The cruiser over at the lighthouse side, the island side. And like I said, look at the map again. Look at my spawn point. Those two do not leave those 2 spots for the rest of the game. So consider us down 3 tanks. We lost 1 already, and we have 2 campers that are being completely ineffective back there. So I tell her we're going to have to do something, either circle around or cap. We decided to take him out first, even though he doesn't have the gargantuan snub-nosed derp cannon on his M2 medium. I just noticed I had gold loaded. So we decide to go and flank. It's just the two of us, really, and two in the cap circle. So we finish off the M2 medium. Yeah, that's where I realized I had gold loaded. And I let my camo reset. I tell Crazy I'm going for it. Peek the bush one more time. He's camping hard. I saw the tree fall. So I decide I'm going for it. And at some point, either I don't think I get spotted. He's waiting for me, though. Right there. He's pointed right at me. I let it aim and empty my entire 2 magazines into him. I know the ice claw is still up here somewhere, so I think I realize it's time to load gold at some point, either when I spot him or when she spots him. There it is. I figured I'm going to have a head-on frontal match with him, but he decides to bug out, and I don't know where he's going. So I take advantage of this. I should have rammed him here, but instead I just go ahead and pump my 2 magazines into him. I could have used AP on that, so such is life. All we have left is the cruiser. Now, mind you, look at the map again. Like I said, those 2 guys have not moved, and I just noticed that they were back there the whole time. I thought that we were down. I should have looked up at the top to see what the scores were. So I'm telling Crazy, look, if I wait here at this rock here, I'll go left, you go right. Let's take them down at the same time. And then I see Mr. Camper back there. He's like, oh, I want in on this. Too late. Cruiser took care of it for me. Too easy, right? So this tank is capable of carrying a match in the right hands. And you'll see with the battle results that even at tier 3, and as you can see, I got my 4 kills for the Top Gun, I still did just under 1,000 damage. So not much spotting damage, but the Panzer 35T that camped in the back, I can't see that here, but it's like, what, 45? So much for that. If I can carry a match in a T-46, so can you. And if you need to pad your stats, if that's your thing, or if you want to rehab your T-46, playing it like that, especially in mines, that's one way to do it. Now loading into the next match, I'm thinking, okay, what are we going to do? And then, boom, Mirage. I hate Mirage as much as I hate Lost Temple. This was a win, but it almost wasn't. And I think it really came down to RNG, and we got lucky from some mistakes we made. Crazy's playing on an iPhone, and I play on a tablet, so she's trying to see what's what. And you can see the points where her and I aren't really coordinated enough. And I was like, you gotta aim at somebody who's not AFK. She's like, well, I thought he was shooting at me, and just the screen's too small. And you can see here the mistakes we make, and somehow we pull off a carry. We talked before this game. Let's let them, the T-28, he has, I think, the stock gun or a derp gun. I was like, let's let them get out, see what's what, before we push with the 0 armor that we have. So I'm looking at the map. Nobody's pushed the right side where we are. And then everybody starts pinging up on the center, which is where you really should go, especially at higher tiers. At least that's the paradigm these days. I realize almost all of them are spotted. I take a chance, pop my engine boost, and I see the DW2. I want to take him out because of the buff that it received. And I don't want to mess with that gun. And then this is where all the mistakes start happening. This T-28 is AFK. And I make the biggest noob mistake in the book and start shooting at an AFK. He's just AFK. So that's my fault. The DW2 knows I'm coming now that I've been spotted. He's the biggest problem. And I think he's coming. No, I thought he was coming right for me. So I miss, track him, pump another, and I think now I am the sole focus of most of the team here. At least 3. So the DW2, he knows I'm there. I do what I can. He puts one right into my tinfoil turret. Low roll there, no problem. I check on the T-28 to see if he's AFK. Crazy's coming to back me up, and she starts shooting at the right now at the T-28. I don't realize it. She she goes right in front of the DW2, but it provides enough distraction for me to get between her and him. Bounce some shots, finally take him out. This is where I'm telling her right here. I'm like, why are you shooting at the T-28? He's AFK. Well, such is life. And she's enough distraction for me to get at the cruiser, but then a wild Covenanter appears. I go ahead and take him out. And then it's us versus the cruiser. I forget, yeah, she gets taken out by the cruiser here. I run into her. We were talking to each other. This is just bad teamwork, and I should have coordinated a little better. But still, I'm in a T-46. The cruiser's trying to bully me back. That's fine. This is the low RNG moment. He could have had me right there. I got lucky, so I took him out. All that's left now is the T-28. You see me looking here. I couldn't remember where he was until I remembered he was a little further back. I think I had to earn this win. This was not easy. We got very, very lucky, but still, and of course you got a heavy on the cap. But still, it was a win. A win's a win. It's tier 4, and I still got the Top Gun, which isn't too bad. Lost credits for spamming gold on the DW2, but I did over 1,000 damage this one, and that I'm pleased with at tier 3 in a T-46, doing 1,000 damage. Almost as much, just 100 less than the DW2, who's capable of doing that. I'm really pleased with the result. I've had better ones, but even with all the teamwork mistakes we made and everything, still at 1,000 damage, that's not bad. Thanks again for subscribing, and thanks again for all the likes. If you like what you see, if you have improvements to suggest, please put them in the comments below. If you're interested in my Patreon, like I said earlier, link above and below. Until next time, I'll see you guys out there.